What's happening, everybody? It's another episode of Where with the Mess, where we talk about love in a black man's view, life with meaning and purpose, and fitness with intent and performance. I'm your host, Weather Charles, the Godfather. You already know what it is, man. We're about to get into it. We're going to be talking about this post that I seen online. It's called Things to Do Before You Get Married. And these things to do, what are those things to do before you get married? And these things to do is discuss bills, parent styles, credit, debt, religion, how to deal with family, what beliefs will be in your childhood drama, sexual expectation, partner expectation, financial expectation, family health history, mental health history, your bucket list, dream home, careers, education, political views, and whatever comes to mind. The ending of the post said, love alone is not enough. So we know the format. We're going to get to the comments first, and then we're going to address the rest of the posting. A portion of the comments, we're going to start with the top. What's happening? What's happening? I'm glad y'all joined the show. Tina had mentioned in the comments for things to do before you get married. I have this thing right here. She said everything should be up front. Most of this should be shared prior to marriage. And she would think like all of this would be covered, right? About the things that you should do before marriage. Things should be up front, but things aren't up front before you get married. Communication isn't always as tight. It's just that bond that you have with your significant other or your love interest is strong enough that you can remain together for longevity. But then when you talk about everything else, you should kind of have a great idea of how bills are split in the home. You might not know the different parenting styles if you don't have a parent already there. Credit, y'all probably talking about credit if you living with each other or what have you. Debt, you should kind of know where your partner is. They probably not telling you that either. Religion, all these other factors, they should come up, right, as you progress in your relationship. So when she said you would think that, people would already have this covered during that time frame. Yeah, Tina, when she says, when you think that people have this covered during that time frame, assumptions, yes, I will assume that. I would assume that it would be done during that time frame, but sometimes it's not because most people will go to grave with their secrets. TJ was the next person to comment. TJ, you're fired. But yes, all of these concepts, all of these topics, all of these, bullet points should be talked about prior to an engagement, right? Because you're going to be staying with this person for the longevity of your life. Unless you two get, divorce, prenups happen, other situations, breaking up the home. Oh my gosh. Like stuff like that, then yes, I would definitely understand. But the majority of this should be shared prior to marriage. Brianna said she wished it was taught by parents, the concept of knowing the difference between a waste of time and trying to find values or goals. I believe those are traits, right? I'm trying to find the better word for traits. Those are traits that you would want to have in an individual. And also strategies or tools and keys to figure out who isn't the person for you and who is that person for you that is goal oriented, that is valuable to you. In that regard, in that respect, famous quote by the famous philosopher Swali: I like what I like, right? You do like what you like. So if you like a person who is valuable, who is goal oriented, then you would kind of sway into their path and their position. But if you're attracted to the thrill, you're attracted to these bad boys, you're attracted to a certain life that you want to live, you probably won't get that goal oriented or that valuable guy. You will get this short term deal that probably will come with 3,000 miles. And then you have to change the oil on the fella a couple other 1,000 miles, and then you got to keep on working on them, right? So that's the difference. Since you like what you like, you have a preference. It kind of shades this person away from you. Yeah, so we'll go to the next comment. It's by Mike. Mike says 100% not doing this leads to miscommunication, wasted time, misunderstanding, and arguments. Mike, you funny. Just not on the first date, right? We don't want to scare people away, right? On the first date, we don't want to scare people away. So yes, you don't want to discuss all of those on the first date. I mean, unless you're going blind dating and it's just like, what's that one show? Married at First Sight. Like, this is my first time seeing you, babe. We're married. We gotta work this out for, I don't know, things like 30 to 90 days, something like that. Like, maybe then that's when you do that. But other than that, nah, just keep it cordial, keep it cool. Again, yes, majority of everybody agrees. This needs to be a concept that should be talked about. And we're gonna get to why sometimes it's not talked about. Taryn states, not believes, that this is the basis of a relationship. She said, this ain't the 60s. We don't marry on financial security and who can provide for us. The two kids in white picket fence, right? That's an image. Why is the basis of a relationship hasn't changed overall to match? We need to be thinking about these questions and what we want, need, and expect. So why is the basis, this concept here, things to do before you're married, hasn't changed overall? Well, maybe marry on financial security and who can provide first. That concept, never mind. Why hasn't that changed? The main reason the concept of being financially stable and whoever can provide for you haven't changed within our generation is because we've been conditioned to always have a set person who is financially stable, can hold some security for us, and who can also provide and protect us. Main roles for a gentleman is to protect as well as provide, right? Protection will bring that security, providing that is financial stability, mental stability, health stability, X, Y, and Z, all of this. That's a man's main role. So when you're looking at this concept, we always still put, quote unquote, and this by government, to put a man ahead of a woman, where, to be honest, it's really not the case. Again, I'm not a feminist or pro-feminist. I don't know what you call it, but a pro-man. I don't care about none of that. Just to be frank with you, I really don't. But it's just that we put that man up forward. I guess as a staple point. It's just been like that in history. And women, some women, let me say that, some women, because I'm not going to generalize, some women may still think that in that area. So if he can provide financial stability, I won't ever have to go into this poverty state of mind because this person has me, this person got me. If you're a dominant woman, right, you can provide for everything, and you still have that mini submissive mindset where you give a one down to one up that man, that can still be correlated, but that submission also gives you power because you hold all the chips, right? So in that regard, play your game right. Play your game right, and do speak about the things that you want, that you need, and that you expect. Cliff, my uncle, I'm gonna read this off of the post itself because it was so beautiful. If it would want to load. So my uncle said, he said, mind you, I had to Google this. What in the third world country is OTHOH? Right? OTOH. What is that? Like, I'm still a late adapter. I don't know none of them new acronyms. So if you acting young, I don't know what you're doing. So I think when I Googled it, it said, on the other hand, right? On the other hand, if we both are committed to each other and truly are in love, every of these bridges gets crossed together. Imagine giving up on someone because they don't agree early in the relationship on these issues. Are they important? Yes, but you really don't know how they arise or when. People change, financial statuses change, and statuses on these issues may change as well. You have to evolve together. People change and find themselves late in life sometimes. unless the person is opposite on almost everything, and then what they drew to you. I just messed it up. And then what drew you to them, right? It was a question. Had to be shallow, so that's a non-issue. What if you agree on all of it when you first started dating, but over time changes through life, you don't see these things the same, you don't give up on them? Then two edges of that sword. Love you, cuz. I love you too, big love. You already know. Young boy. That was real beautiful, to be honest. That was real beautiful. I like the concept. I like the theories. I can't really dive too much into it. What's up, Pi? King, qui ça va faire? Qui ça va prendre? All right. Have fun. If y'all would see this kid, he is hilarious. When we get down to it, things to do before you're married. The first bullet point is discuss bills, right? You should discuss bills because it rolls into debt, right? If you got a phone bill that's $300, I got a phone bill that's $70. What's going on here? Negative. What do that? If I got a phone bill that's $60, you got a phone bill that's plus like $200. We got to talk about this. Like, what do you have on your plan, and how can we at least limit costs coming out? We don't want a lot of outputs. We want a lot of inputs. Because if I'm giving you a lot of outputs, that means I'm going into debt. If I'm getting a lot of inputs, we look like a flourishing family, right? So you should discuss bills at all times, right? My pockets is your pockets. If we get married, our pockets are the same. They get together. King, what do that sound? They get together. He is so, oh my goodness. Now, parenting styles. You should definitely talk about parenting styles. You should definitely talk about parenting styles. I mean, you got 4 different parenting styles, right? You have the authoritative parenting style. You have the authoritarian parenting style. You have the permissive parenting style, and you have the neglectful parenting style, right? So you have 4 different styles, and you got to figure out how this one individual acts with a toddler or a baby, right? I'm not gonna lie to you. Before I became a dad, I couldn't picture myself doing that. Like, dang, I gotta hold it. I didn't even know how to hold the baby. Like, does his head go up like this? And I hold him like this? Do I gotta hold him like this? What happened if I have him hanging? I didn't say that. By the way, I didn't say what happened when I had him hanging down. I'm just making a joke about it. But it's very difficult whenever you analyze that parenting style, because some people are very, hey, look, I need you to do X, Y, and Z. If you don't do X, Y, and Z, this is the consequence. And they talk it through with their child on why they get, punished because of the consequence. Or you have people who just like, let them do it. Forget it. Let them do it. Right? You got to have a healthy balance, because you don't want that person who's just like, well, fuck it. I don't care. He's going to do whatever he wants. I'm going to just walk out. And then now the child's neglected, right? You have to talk about this, and you got to watch certain behaviors that your partner does, because your partner will always show how they're going to treat another item, whether it's a dog, whether it's, I don't like cats, whether if it's a cat, whether it's a, what have I seen the other people, weird homes? What them things? They long with a fluffy tail and they go around in circles. A furret. Oh my goodness. Them things, I'm like, dang. They cause what? Crazy. Even a fish. As oddly enough, even a fish. I need to know how you treat these animals, because it's reflected upon your own other being, right? If somebody don't have a dog, I low-key gotta watch them different. Like, you don't have a dog. You don't know what it's like to have something that's dependent upon you to be there, right? For emotional, psychological, and physical need. I don't know what else a dog goes through, to be honest. But that's something to that's something to think about for their parenting styles. And you should always ask somebody, pay attention to how they behave as well for that. Credit. Credit's third one on the list. I don't know about that. People a little sneaky with their credit. I know I'm not talking about credit because I got good credit, but I don't talk about credit with my partners. So I really can't like agree on that, but I definitely agree that you should talk about credit, because if y'all trying to get like a house together, if y'all trying to get a new car, majority of places is going to ask you for your credit. And they're going to ask you for your bank account statements, and they're going to, give you a hard credit check, and they're going to ask you for all the things that's going in there. They're going to ask you for your pay stubs. They're going to go into your life. They're going to try to check who you are as a person. Majority of things run off of credit and credibility and who you are as a person. And we can definitely do a session on that about buying houses, buying cars properly, and working negotiations. But y'all let me know if that's something y'all want me to discuss, because I've already had the above. Y'all let me know in the comments, and we can do that for you. But credit is huge if you're looking long term. If you're not looking long term with somebody, don't discuss credit. We talked about debt already when discussing bills. Main thing that you want, especially with debt, is that you have more inputs than outputs. If I'm outputting and handing out money, throwing ones in the club, throwing ones when she twerk it like that doesn't make sense, bro. Like, everything costs money. If somebody says it's not about the money, they're lying to you. 100%. Everything is about the money. My house costs money for me to stay here. Groceries cost money for me to eat. I mean, shoot. It costs money to get to work. That's called gas. Like, everything is about money at the end of the day. Like, I love God. That's life. But when I'm here on this world, that's money, right? So definitely talk about that. Have more inputs than outputs. When we talk about religion, that's huge. That is really huge. And some people need to understand the concepts of their quote unquote higher power, right? That's a good job. It's what's a good word for this one? Well, F it, I'm gonna have to cuss on TV on this live. It's a blue motherfucker, and it's really good. So I had like a 3/4 of the bottle already, so it's pretty good. So religion, and I'm gonna dive deep onto this with a personal thing that occurred to me. So I have talked to one candidate, and this candidate was and I was talking about God, right? And how God is in our life. She's asked me, like, she said, what do I believe in? What's my view of God?
Drink all of it.
You drink all of it? Oh, you're a big boy. Come on. Give me a high five. You having fun?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. I love that kid. All right, so I was talking to Shawty. King. Here he goes again. My fridge is open. Shut the fridge door. What is you doing? Silly rabbit. All right, go have fun. Silly rabbit. Okay, my bad, y'all. So religion is huge, and when it comes to religion, you got to be on the same concept of your higher power. Like, if I love God and you love God, let's love him together, no matter what concept that we have on him. For instance, I'm Catholic. I'm Catholic, and I also grew up in a Baptist church, so I kind of got two ends of the spectrum. But the way I know about God is by actions and through by words. The way somebody else might know about God is through doctrine, going to church, through the book, can tell you all the passages, right? They can tell you about that, but the way that I learned about God is through action, through love, through reality. Like, this is how he works. This is how he put things together. And this one little individual, this candidate, she talked to me about these other different concepts, and I was like, look, I'm not a crusader. That's not my fight, right? So whenever you're talking about religion, how'd you learn about the concepts of God and your belief, and then how this person envisions what God is in their life for their future, right? And not only that, how they want to instill that in their children, right? For instance, for me, my son is already named after a biblical phrase, right? So he already understands that concept right now, not like higher, but at an early stage, right? We always pray before we eat and what have you. So, you nervous? What you nervous about? So we always pray before we eat, so he understands.
What's that picture? Hey, Dad.
What's in there?
What's that?
What is that?
That's the cider.
That is.
And look at a flags.
Yeah, those are flags. All right. I'm going to need you to go have fun. Let me finish this, okay?
Okay.
All right. I'll see you, Pop. So again, he is amazing. So again, when it comes down to that, topic, right, about religion, you must truly figure out what they truly want, how they truly, want to ping all these details of God into their child, and what you want, because y'all two can have opposing views. And until you get off the opposing views and what concepts, what rules, what principles you want to get back into your child about, this religion aspect, then you'll be good. You'll be okay. The other one was how to deal with family. I ain't gonna lie to you. You don't pick the family. You pick your love, but you don't pick the family. Right? Some people's families suck. Let's be honest. Like, we're gonna call a spade a spade. Some people's families suck. Like, damn, what it was you had to go through. No wonder you were traumatized. And other people's family, they're like dope as heck. Like, dang, I wish I was in this family. Get down. What you talking about? What you talking about? Like, it's vice versa. So you don't get to pick the family. But you do get to choose how you deal with them. Are you going to be more engaged, or are you going to be standoffish? How do they see you and view you within the relationship? And if you don't really have a strong start, don't worry about that. It's not about the start, it's about the finish. So you got to continue to be consistent with that family member. Or if there's like the mom who hates you and she don't know why she hates you. She probably hates you because the ex was her favorite and she's like, oh, I love TT. TT was amazing. And then you got this girl. I don't like this girl. She wear her different. Like, it works out later on in the future whenever you are consistent, where you are showing them that you truly love your love interest or your significant other. So the parents will come around. Major things about parents is make sure you protect and love my child, right? I'm a parent. I get that. If, one of the things I always tell his mom right now is like, when he get to high school, I got to protect him from these fast girls. Like, he already cute. So it's just like these fast girls might take him away from me before I can actually instill these traits into him. So take that time there and love the families and make sure that you can love him purely for who he is and love that girl purely for what she is. And if she can't bring nothing to the table, take her. Because if you just brought the fucking table, you got to at least have some people. So bring her, right? Take them for who they are, where they at, no matter what, and don't judge them for it. The other one is what beliefs you instill in your child, right? That is major. Because for a dad view of life and for a mom view of life is completely different. Dads, we like compartmentalized everything. A lady, she has a big picture and she got a whole bunch of details in that picture. Y'all two could have a different view. He could say, oh, we just gonna have burgers tonight. She might be thinking lobster tail, steak, pasta, rice, big bowl of salad, Olive Garden dressing, like the whole nine. And you just like, well, we was just having burgers and fries in the game. Like that's it, right? So figure out what you want to put in your child, different things that you want to instill in your children. And I'm gonna just say this because these are things that I talk about whenever I facilitate classes on parenthood, motherhood, and relationships. Give your kids a lot of love. A lot of love. Same thing goes for any partner that you have. Same thing goes for any friends that you have. Give them a lot of love. You don't know when it's going to be their last day. You don't know when you're going to end up calling them for something and they need you the most. Like, give them a lot of love. Second thing, right? Give them validation. Validate them for, their successes, anything that you can celebrate, validate them for the feelings that they have and what have you. It's just something that you definitely need, and make sure that they don't have to always prove it. You don't have to prove it to me. Just prove it to yourself that you can do it. I'm going to love you regardless. I'm going to always push you regardless. I'm going to always make sure that I'm here for you, standing by your side regardless. Just know that I love you. I'm here for you. And I'm going to be the best friend or the best, wife or partner that you ever had in your life. So always do that. So those are things that I believe that'll be great for you for instilling beliefs. The next one is childhood trauma, right? Trauma is different because when you think about the ages of people's lives, right? This is going into social work. When you think about the ages of people's lives, from 0 to 5, we want love, right? We want to fill that bucket and feel that need of touch, senses, just all of that, right? You just want to be there and show love to a child that's 0 from 5. So everybody used to be a child. Everybody used to be 0. Everybody used to be 5. If you skip ages, I don't know who the heck you are. Don't talk to me. You're an alien. I still love you though. 0 to 5, you need a lot of love. From 6 to 14, you need a lot of validation, right? Little girls be like, look at me, daddy. Pose. My girl's a princess. She's lovely. Guys, they're always trained to always be successful, try hard, and do your best. Stages and milestones, like he has to succeed or he won't be great. Like, come on out. So you need a lot of validations from 6 to 14, and 15 through about the age 24. You need a different focus. You need somebody who's going to be there. You need a guide, right? You need somebody who's going to accept you for who you are and not sugarcoat it to you. So you're fighting all these different views, and in somebody's life, they might, from 15 to 24, they might go through being bullied in high school. They might go from being, kicked off a team. They might actually have a death in the family. They might have been sexually harassed, sexually abused. They might have been abused by their family, They might be, going through some type of neglect from their other friends and their peers, abandoned, homelessness, robbed. So there's so many different traumatizing moments that can happen to somebody between really 0 to 24 when they don't understand the concept of trauma until they hit about 25 through 30, and they're like, yeah, I'm fucked up. Right? Like, this is all the baggage that I come with. It's on the plane, mother. Like, we gonna go across this little plane right here, and it's gonna be $200 just to get on the plane with all the baggage. Look at this. 50 pounds and over, right? Extra sauce. But people come with all of that, and we got to take that person for all of the heat and all the baggage that they claim. So talking about these childhood traumas, and sometimes it may be revelating, right? It may be a revolution in their life, and they can find security in you. They can find peace within you. Other times it might trigger another concept, and you got to be okay with those anxieties, those different PTSDs, right? Those different mental health conditions that wasn't asked out in the beginning, and they have to do it now. So childhood traumas is number one. And the thing for people who talk about their childhood traumas before marriage, please, please, please tell that person just to listen. Sometimes we don't know whether you want us to listen to, solve the problem. We don't know if you want us to listen to encourage you. at that point where you're talking about trauma and those type of expectations from a female to a male, please tell that person that you're there with just to listen. That will limit a lot of stresses later on. The next one is sexual expectation. I don't know about y'all, but we can't do that once a month thing. I don't know what y'all was thinking about. Once a month? Once a month? We can't do that once a month thing. We can't even do that twice a month thing. Twice a month? Twice a month? Oh, y'all all hot and ready before y'all get steady. But then once y'all in it, y'all be like, yeah, we not doing it. No, we not doing it. Stop holding out. We need that. We need that. Minimum 4 times a month. Yeah, once a week. Once a week. That's all we need to know. You love me, girl. You love me, girl. You love me, girl. Like sexual expectations definitely needed. Many people got a high libido, high sex drive, right? So you want to meet the needs of your partner at all times, right? The other portion of the time is that you want to at least be viewed in the same value as you were prior to your sexual needs. So if somebody who is not as sexually active as you as your partner and you just don't want to have sex, you got to at least state that to that partner. Like, hey, look, it's not the time. I'm going through something. I just want to hold out. And you got to be okay with that, but you got to understand you can state your needs and hold on firm to it, but you're abusing their needs too. So you both have to at least come in accordance with some type of needs and come to a compromise with it. If you're not the type to have sex, but I'm the type to have sex, let's at least compromise on once a week. We already know, we're going to let women handle their woman needs. Some things that happen to their body once a month occur. So maybe it dropped, instead of 4 times a week, it'd be like 3 times a month, right? So during those concepts, you have to at least talk about that and situate it. The next one is partner expectations. When they say partner expectations, I truly believe that's where you fit in to different scenarios of life, right? What I expect from you whenever we're in danger. If he says something far-fetched, I want you to punch him in the mouth. If she says something wild out her neck, I want you to, diss her outfit or something like that. I don't know what girls do. I really don't. I don't know how y'all bring each other down. Sometimes guys just punch each other in the mouth. Like, that's easy. But sometimes girls are passive aggressive. So I don't know what y'all girls do. Whatever y'all do that. Right? But your partner expectation is coming up during my lowest moments or coming up in times where I'm unsure that I'm strong in. So for instance, if I'm having a hard day at work, my partner expectation would be just to, comfort me. And that comfort could be a hug. That comfort could be, a little note on a dinner bat that says, honey, I love you. That could be a picture of our family on a pillowcase. Like, that could be that. Welcome to the show, Pa. Right, that partner expectation could be if we're in financial pinch.
I want to see.
You want to see? Come here. That could be if we're in a financial pinch, how I would want you to help me out, right? Or if I lost my job, what can we do? Right? Your hair is so wild, Pa.
Thank you.
The next one will be financial expectations. Financially, we need to... All right, King, I live.
Waka.
Silly rabbit. I live on. So the financial expectation would be what I was saying at the end. If I'm in a pinch, how can we survive, right? Or, for instance, real life situations. Example 1, you are with your partner, you say you have a baby, but your child care service is going out of range. Financial expectations will be like, hey, babe, I know we're in a pinch, but we have to pay a portion of this daycare bill. How much do you have? How much do I have? Let me put at least 70% in. You put 30% in. Because if you put 30%, we're still going to be living in that situation, right? But we're going to be living good. If I put 70% and you put at least 30, boom, 100% goes to them. We can have child care service and still do what we have to do for the remainder of the house, especially if it comes to other bills, right, that you have, especially when it comes to other bills that you have. What are these expectations you have on these bills? What are your expectations you have on debt? What are your expectations that you have to build on more credit? What are those expectations that you have to build a business, right? I'm gonna build an LLC, then I'm gonna build a C Corp, then I'm gonna build a trust fund, then I'm gonna build another trust fund to run my trust fund C Corp LLC, right? You have to have these conversations with your partner so you two, or anybody can be polyamorous or monogamous, all of you can be in a better financial state, right? The next one will be family history. Again, family history is also dealing with the family, right? How the family, dynamic is, Ancestry.com. What are those different bloodlines? What are those? And that leads into mental health history as well, because when you deal with the family and you check out the family history, you want to check out, if this line is healthy. You don't want, no offense to anybody who has scoliosis, you don't really want scoliosis. You don't really want cancers. You don't want something that you can give off to your child that's going to, make you wonder, make you think about how they might be impacted later on in life. You don't really want that. The next one will be bucket list. I always tell everybody my bucket list. I travel a lot, so y'all gonna see me out in NV. Y'all gonna see me out in CA. Y'all gonna see me out in OH. Y'all gonna see me out in BH. Y'all gonna see me out of the country. Y'all gonna see me out in the country. FL, you already know what it is. Like, we everywhere. TX, we everywhere. So that's my bucket list. I like to travel. If you like to travel too, join along. I normally buy trips for everybody. Join along. It don't matter. We'll make these memories together. So tell somebody about your bucket list. If you don't have much on your bucket list, then, just enjoy life and join their bucket list. But you have something on your bucket list, tell that person so y'all can just build memories together. Your dream home. As long as your dream home not trash can, we good. We good.
Dad.
We good. What's up, Pi?
I just look at the picture.
Kisa?
I just look at those.
Okay. The next one will be career and education. That's one of the most important. Career and education wise, you want somebody who's able still to be king. Alin on. Alin. Mafinila. Mtika. Okay? So you want somebody who career wise is still passionate, still has that energy, still has that fire within them. Education wise, you still want them to be confident, competent, and empathetic, right? At the end of the day, Brene Brown says it the best, says it the most. That sense of empathy, that sense of nurturing, that woman's touch is needed for every person, right? And it not only does it separate you, but it makes you feel heard. You want to feel like somebody had listened to your concerns. You want to feel like they're going to work to make it better. You want to feel like wanted at the end of the day. You want to feel wanted. So you want somebody educated enough to bring that concept to you and make it real. But you also want them to have this fire and this passion that, attracted you to them. This is their strength into their career, right? So you would want that. Political views, it might hurt you, but yeah, I can't even talk about that for political views. And then at the end it says whatever comes to mind. I don't know what comes to mind. I don't. I kind of live and let live at the end of the day. With me having a kid, it's more of what concepts that he have in life that'll work out and what I have going on with my life and what the vision that I have. Ale. My bad. So the last one was love alone isn't enough. But to be frank, love isn't all of this. You kid me not? Love isn't all of this. Your bills depends on how much you love that iPhone. Just being straight. If I don't love that iPhone, I got that be 2 years. 2 years. Boop. Paid all. We ain't talking about nothing. I be on Wi-Fi. You want to hit me up? Wi-Fi, baby. Love is in that. I love my iPhone. I like doing this. I can get it for free. You just got to hit me up on Wi-Fi days, right? Parenting style. Just loving the parenting style. That's the way I've grown up. It worked out. Look how I ended up. Right? There's love in that. Credit, there's a lot of love in credit. What the heck did you buy? You bought some Michael Kors on a credit card, huh? Right? You bought those bodegas on the credit card, huh? Right? That's the same. It's all love. Everything that you get into is love. That you love doing X, Y, and Z. That's what got you into that. Religion, my love for God. What beliefs I want to instill in my child, that's love. What I want to give my child. Childhood traumas, that is not love. Yeah. I'm just going to be, that is not love. Sexual expectation, that's love. This is how I receive it. This is how I know that we're deadlocked. Some people, and I'm going to just add this as a segue. Some people don't get attached when they have sex. I don't understand that. If I'm giving my body to you, I'm giving my essence, I'm giving my soul to you. Oh yeah, we might have a little bit of affection. I'm not going to lie to you about that. So that's love as well. Partner expectations, that's love. That's what I think of you. That's what your potential you have. Financial expectation, I love money. And if you don't love money, I don't think you love nothing, kind of. Ain't that right? All right, okay. So family history, mental history, that's love. You really trying to dig deep into the past of somebody and what makes them up. Your bucket list, that's the things that you love to do. Dream home, this is everything that I imagined that I wanted. Oh my gosh, look at this stairway. Like that's everything there. Careers and education, that's where your love, your passion is. This is where you really thrive as an individual. Or your pillow clues, I don't think there's love there. I'm not gonna lie, that's politics. I don't think there's love there. Just always, never mind. There's love, war, and politics. That's the same, love, war, and politics. But I don't think politics have any love in it. And whatever comes to mind, at the end of the day, if it's not out of the basis of love, then it don't matter. So I truly believe my uncle was right in the aspect. You know, on the other hand, it's about you two coming together. You two coming together. It's about you two getting this sense of life. I always wanted to be with you. You have everything that I desired in one individual. And as much as I want to punch or strangle you right now, I want to spend the rest of my life and be happy with you. Right? So make sure you choose the right person before you get married and engaged. Make sure you are using this as a basis of relationships. This is not the 60s. We're in a new era where independence run. Learn how to be more empathetic. Learn how to understand an individual and meet them at where they're at. Learn how to be more communicative, and we would all love again, right? So these are things to do before you're married. Make sure you do discuss them all. I don't know how many topics it was, like 12 topics. Make sure you discuss them, right? Because it's essential for your life moving forward. You know what it is. Willie Charles, the Godfather. One finger, one pinky, one thumb, one love.